Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Simone Nicole, back at it again with another video. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me but hair edition, so like a braid out with me. I don't know what I'm going to title this video, but the point is that we're going to sit here, we're going to talk while I do a braid out on my hair, and then I will show you guys the finished results. This won't be as detailed of a video as my twist out video was. If you want to see like how I take down my hair, how I fluff my hair, I will definitely leave the twist out video not only in a card up at the top here, sorry, and then I will also leave it down in the description box so that you guys can get a more detailed version of what's about to happen today. But before we get into today's video, we have to do our subscriber shout out of the day. If you are new here, we do a subscriber shout out every single video in order to highlight people that are just being genuine, nice human beings and have positive things to say. So today's subscriber shout out is going to go to Miss Kendra Davis. She commented on my knotless braids at home video, and she said, "This is by far the best braiding tutorial I have seen. So many detailed explanations, close-ups, and slowdowns to capture the moment. I am subscribing to your page. Thank you." Thank you so much, Miss Kendra, for leaving such a positive comment and for having something nice to say to your fellow black girl, and just in general to your fellow person. If you would like to be my subscriber shout out in my next video, then make sure that you are subscribed and that you're commenting down below on my videos and just letting me know that you're here. And with all that being said, let's get into today's video. Alrighty, so to get started, I have one clip. Do I know one clip? Well, that was an irresponsible decision, but here we are. I have one clip, a ponytail holder with hair on it. Ooh, love that for me. And then I have a roll of paper towels because I only finger detangle through my hair. I don't use combs or brushes throughout this process. So I need paper towels in order to get the hair off of my hands. Then I have a t-shirt for all of the excess water that will probably be spilling onto my lap. A little towel. It's a microfiber towel that I can put over my shoulders to catch all of the excess water. Then for our first product, we have the Miss Jessie's Leave-In Condish. I really liked this the first time I tried it. We are using black owned brands exclusively. Remind me to tell y'all about Miss Jessie's. Don't let me forget. Then we have the Curls Dynasty Twisted Definition Twisting Cream. Even though we're going to be using it for a leave out, I just really liked the Curls Dynasty stuff when I tried it. I tried one thing and it made me want to try everything else. So we're going to try this. Never been used, brand new. And then we're going to use our tried and true Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic Curl Stimulators. So this is the gel we're going to be finishing off with. Okay, so my hair was deep conditioning in these two braids. I got in the shower, I rinsed out my hair, and now we are going to start this process. Update, I left and I rinsed my hair, and now my hair is like literally dripping wet, which is good because it means we won't have to use a spray bottle as much. But I did so because when I was unbraiding my hair, I could still really smell and feel the deep conditioner in my hair, so I wanted to make sure I got it all rinsed out. Let's talk about the events that have unfolded in the past week. What a time to be alive. It's funny because the conversation that I want to have today is about how overwhelmed I am by how much I'm constantly seeing on social media about the movement. I'm gonna start by wetting down my hair, and then we are going to apply first the leave-in conditioner, and then we are going to apply the twisting definition cream, and then we are going to finish off with the gel. So if I don't make those steps clear, that's what's happening here. So it's funny because I keep on having the thought of when like I was younger and teachers would tell you, go talk to a grandparent to get their perspective on what it was like living through X, Y, and Z. I'm literally the grandparent that teachers are gonna be like, talk to your grandparent about 2020. Like, everything is changing so rapidly, and I have always been down for the cause. Let's get that real straight. I and many other Black people have been having this conversation of Black Lives Matter for a very long time. I have been having this conversation since Trayvon Martin. I've been having it since Eric Garner, and so many other victims to this corrupt system that we have had. I'm not saying it to be like, oh my God, give me a gold star because I've been a good Black for years now. It's more so to make the point that this conversation is one that has been being had, but this is the first time where so many people are paying attention. It has been very difficult for me to understand my feelings and to vocalize my feelings about how I feel about everything going on, because there's the side of me that is realizing that we are living through history, and these are the type of conversations that we need to be having. Not even a want, it's a need. You need to talk about things in order to change them, even things that make you uncomfortable, and that's in any facet of life. And again, I'm happy that the conversation is being had. And then I think about the self-protecting, self-serving part of me. And that, if I have to be honest with myself, I am tired. My moods change every single day. I feel differently about what's going on every single day. I'm getting pulled in so many directions emotionally, like trying to enjoy life, the fact that I am living, and then getting on social media and seeing all of the sadness, and then like the destruction and the beautiful videos that just make you want to bawl your eyes out, the togetherness, the allyship. And then I go into the comments of a part of the internet that I should not be on, and I see all of these people saying all of these very, very selfish, self-serving things in the comments about how they feel like, oh my God, the all lives matter stuff. Yo, I genuinely didn't think that all lives matter was still a thing and something that people were okay with saying. I thought that we like explained ourselves well enough for like the past, 5 years since this movement has started, maybe more. I thought that we've explained ourselves enough to know that just because we say Black Lives Matter, it does not mean that other lives don't matter. And the reason why I call it selfish is because you have the inability to accept that something that someone else has going on doesn't take away from what you have going on. It's like when you use the term white privilege, a lot of white or white passing people get offended by that because they feel as though their story is being taken away from them. Like, I'm saying that because you have white skin or light skin, that automatically your life has been easy and everything has just been handed to you, when in reality that's not it. You're just not letting your brain grasp the fact that that's not it. And I understand why people's brains do that on a scientific level, but it doesn't make it any easier to watch it happen. When I see people saying things like all lives matter, it's like incredibly frustrating. So there's the part of the internet that is exclaiming all lives matter, and then there is the part of the internet that is so overwhelmingly supportive, and then there's the part of the internet that's like exposing all these stories of injustices and all these horrible things that have been happening, and all of the say their names posts that are going around. I have been in near tears just looking at the list. Like, I have not heard of so many of these people that have been murdered at the hands of police officers, fellow citizens, and they do it all in the name of self-defense, or I thought that he was committing a crime, or I didn't like the way that he was walking in a certain neighborhood, he shouldn't have been there, he looked out of place. All of these things, it's incredibly hard to take all of that in all the time. And I've come to understand that it's because most people that are oppressed in any section, it could be Black people, Hispanic people, gay people, trans people, women, most of us don't wake up every day thinking about how oppressed we are. Like, that's not the goal. Generally, we're not waking up like, oh my God, I gotta live another day as a Black woman. I actually love being a Black woman so very much. While I know that there are so many things working against me, there are so many things working for me. And me, I'm a positive person anyways. So to have a conversation about what I can't do because I'm a Black woman is not a conversation that I have with myself. I understand that things are going to be more difficult for me, and that's kind of just like base level. Like, in my head, I don't tell myself every day like, oh my God, prepare yourself for the world. It's going to be so horrible and sad because you're a Black woman. It's more so that it is just a fact of reality, and I don't need to remind myself and remind everyone around me like, I'm a Black woman and my life is so hard. I might be like, I'm a Black woman, baby, and I am so strong. I've been through this, I've been through that. These are my unique experiences because I am a Black woman coming from the community that I am in, or coming from the background that I'm coming from. This is why I want to talk about my Blackness and my womanness. But on an everyday basis, I don't make my race the hugest part of my life. I'm a person, and I think that that's why I've been able to get as far as I have, because I found a good balance between knowing that I am a Black woman, knowing what that means for me, never forgetting it, but not letting it be a hindrance to me ever.
Hey, so just to clarify that last point, I'm not by any means saying that I don't get treated differently and things aren't harder for me because I'm Black, because in my head I don't let it affect me. I'm more so making the point that I don't let it change the way that I interact with the world, but I cannot stop the way that the world interacts with me, if that makes sense.
The reason why I even bring all that up is to say, I don't know if I emphasized it enough earlier, it is hard getting online and being reminded every freaking day about your oppression. Like, it is hard to turn on Instagram and now even YouTube. It is invaded. This whole conversation, while it is beautiful and necessary, and I want the conversation to be had, I do have to remain protective of myself. And will I contribute to the conversation? Absolutely. But I will do so on my terms. I will not do so at my own detriment. The whole point of the conversations that we have been having is to lift Black people up. And you can't lift up others if you can't stand yourself. So that's what I've been working on. I've been working on standing. And that has been an interesting time because it makes me feel like I'm wrong, even though I know I'm not. I've seen so many things going around about mental health at this time, and protecting your mind and yourself and your body, your soul, your spirit during such difficult times. And I think that that is an absolutely imperative conversation to have. And that's more so why I'm here. I don't really want to get into the nitty-gritty. I thought I did. I originally planned this video to talk about my experiences at the protest and my thoughts on everything, and be more so political, because I think that that's what a lot of YouTubers are afraid of, is being political on their channels and then alienating parts of their audience. But honestly, if you disagree with this movement, if you disagree with the things being on, the conversations being had, I don't want you following me. Point blank, period. And that might sound very like dismissive, but it's coming from a place of, you have to be so disconnected and so up your own ass to not see the problem with the way that things are happening nowadays. And so often we talk about how Black people need to educate, and how it sometimes is not the ignorant person's fault because of their circumstance. And when you have the opportunity, educate them on these issues and these things so that they might be able to see the world from your perspective. Listen, I'm tired. I'm tired. I am so tired of having to explain myself and the circumstances of my people and how we have been feeling and how we have been dealing to people that are so close-minded. I was watching this guy's story. My friend posted him to his story and was like, can we please educate this man? He's so ignorant, da da da. He had like an Instagram story like 3 miles long in which he was a white guy. He had one Instagram story where he was saying like, black people are always complaining about how they can't step outside without being killed. Can someone please show me the statistics on that? And that bothered the shit out of me. And it did because, think about it like this. Would you ever say to someone who is dying of cancer, I don't believe that you have cancer. I don't believe that cancer can kill people. My grandpa had cancer and he made it through just fine. My aunt had cancer and she made it through just fine. She's completely fine. So for you to say that you're dying from it, I don't believe you. Show me the statistics. I'm confused. You wouldn't do that to someone that's dying of cancer. In that argument, it's the same way that you're trying to argue your point, essentially, in saying, because I don't see it, show me it. That's the thing. I don't see people dying of cancer. The people that I see pulled through just fine. The people in my personal life pulled through just fine. The police officers that I know are completely fine. They protect our community. The black people that I know say that they've never had any problems with racism in their life. So what are you guys talking about? You get the point I'm trying to make? And then someone made a very good point. And they were like, how come when it comes to 9/11, it's never forget, but when it comes to slavery, it's let's not talk about it? What? And then speaking of 9/11, with that too, people get so offended when people talk about conspiracy theories because they're like, people died. America was attacked on 9/11. How dare you talk about conspiracy theories with 9/11? So if someone was to say, I don't believe 9/11 happened, you have to prove it to me. You have to show me that it happened. All the conspiracy theories that I've read online said that it didn't happen, that it was planned, or that the government had something to do with it. So because I believe that person that survived 9/11 and got out of a burning building, please explain to me why I should believe you. You would never do that. So why, when we're talking about the abuse of black and brown bodies, do you feel like it's okay to tell people prove to me that y'all are dying? Huh? So essentially, I say all that to say, stop asking the oppressor to educate you on their oppression. When people do that, I feel like it's because their mind is already made up and they want to have an argument or an altercation. I don't think that those type of people actually want to have a conversation, because if they genuinely did want to educate themselves, then they would. There's no excuse as to why you don't understand, and people will try to make it out like I am not a racist, okay? In fact, I am the opposite. I find value in all people, okay? Not just the black ones. So in fact, I'm the opposite of a racist. And it's hard for me to get mad at people because I understand it. I completely understand it on a human level, okay? I remember when I was in AP Psych back in high school, Flex on Flex, we talked about a term called cognitive dissonance. And basically what that means is that the brain, literally the brain, goes through these huge mental jumps in order to justify what it already believes to be true. Let's say that you got married to the love of your life, and you just thought that this person was the best thing since freaking sliced bread, and then all of a sudden the police are knocking at your door arresting him because he's a serial killer. I know we just went from 0 to 100. I get that. I'm trying to equate like a huge, like something rocking your world and completely rocking the foundation of like your life. Like you have built a life with this person, you might have kids with this person, and you don't know them to be this horrible person, and how could you not know? And because the how could you not know narrative starts to come in, your brain will protect itself and say, no, it's impossible for you to not have known that, because that would mean that you are not as smart or as emotionally intelligent as you perceived yourself to be. So instead of believing what's happening here and accepting the fact that the world in which you see it is not the way that it actually is, your mind is going to jump through all these mental hoops to make yourself believe that that's not true. You're going to be like, oh my God, my Theodore, he could have never, even though the police are like, where was he on the night of May 2nd? And you open up your Twitter and you see the shady tweet that you was talking about because old boy ain't come home. You know better, you just like deny it because your brain will not let you. It's trying to protect the earth from shattering up under it, because trauma is a lot harder for the brain to deal with, and the brain is quite lazy. So it's gonna do what it has to do to minimize pain, to minimize hurt. That is literally what the brain is meant to do, and what it has trained itself to do over these years of evolution. So I understand why I see Kimberly from Kansas vehemently talking about how important and crucial police people are to her community and how all lives matter, because Kimberly cannot accept the fact that the world as she saw it is not the way that it is. That's very difficult, extremely difficult, because that means she has to have difficult conversations. That means that she has to reevaluate her life. That means she has to reevaluate herself and think about all of the possible hurtful or insensitive comments that she may have made over years. And Kimberly's brain is not willing to do that work. So what do you see? Hashtag all lives matter. Hashtag blue lives matter. Hashtag Trump 2020. While I intellectually understand it, I cannot sit and absorb that type of behavior. It's just, it's damn near impossible for me to do that at this point. And I know that I'm like joking in this video because I'm trying to keep it a little more lighthearted. I didn't want to make, again, the point that I've been trying to make this whole time, I didn't want to make content about this whole thing. I just hope that this video kind of gives a voice to the people that I know feel the same way that I do, that are happy that the conversation is being had, that are happy that they are a part of this huge change going on in the world, and that you'll be able to tell your grandkids about this time and what it was like living through this. While you have all of those emotions going on, you also have these feelings of self-protection going on as well, and that's okay. Often we humans are very much all or nothing kind of people, and we feel like either we have to be in the fight and we have to be doing this and we have to be believing a certain way, otherwise we're against the fight. And that's not necessarily true. Two conflicting ideas can both be valid at the exact same time. I think that it is just important for you to contribute in a way that you know how, and in a way that is not going to take away from you. Once you find that, go with it, stick to it, run with it. If it means creating art and figuring out if there is a P.O. box that these families have started, and mailing that art to the family so that they can have it, maybe that's enough for you. If it's getting your behind up and going to a protest, maybe that's good for you. If it is going to your local community center and talking to your community officials about hosting a weekly class in which you talk about microaggressions and the small things, the incremental changes that you would like to teach to anybody that wants to listen, you could do that. You can do whatever. You do not have to be a social media warrior on your Instagram 24/7. You just have to do the things that work for you. All right, girls, so my braids are finished. I literally look like a boy. Before I go, so that I can let these dry and then come back, I wanted to, remember I had told y'all to remind me about Miss Jessie's, and y'all was about to let me forget. I came across across this video, I'm gonna link the video down in the description box, about how the co-founder of Miss Jessie's ended up committing suicide. I wanted to mention that because not only do I feel like this story should be known, there is a business that is actively profiting off of her wealth, and I'm gonna let you guys watch that video, decide how you want to act on it. I do not ever advocate spreading hate. I did go to that business's page, and that business definitely, I think they either limit their comments or they don't allow people to comment at all, because they have been exposed for their fraudulences and their behavior. I pray that TT is resting well, and I did want to bring that up to just talk about mental health overall. I hope that you guys see that was a big driving force behind this video, and the things that I wanted to talk about is protecting yourself and your mental health and your spirit. Make sure that you get protective over that, because it can get worn down and it can be very difficult to get that back. So I did want to mention that because that's not common knowledge, and I feel like it definitely should be. Go watch that video, because it was interesting to understand like how the business started, why it started, and the people who own it. It was very interesting just to see that story, so highly recommend. But right now I'm just going to take my hair and put it up into a satin scrunchie and let it dry. I'll see you in a second. Alrighty, daddy's beautiful people. This is my hair. I think I let it dry for a full 24 hours at minimum. And yeah, I like her a lot. My definition is really good. Again, if you guys want to see like me taking braids down and like all that stuff, then I'll have a video linked right here where you can see that process. But I just figured I'd just take them out, because you just unravel them, pull your hair out, and then that's about it. To talk about the products briefly, I don't know, these products didn't mix very well. I've used the Uncle Funky's Daughter for forever, so I know that's not the culprit. The Miss Jessie's Leave-In Condition or the Curls Dynasty Twisting Definition, either these two didn't go well together, or I don't know, because I have a lot of residue on my hair to the point where like when I was taking them down, I rubbed my fingers together and my fingers started peeling because there was so much product on my fingers, and I've never experienced that before. So that also tells me that I'm going to have to shampoo and cleanse my hair yet again in order to strip these products out, because they do not feel like they agreed super well with my hair. Again, if you guys would like a more in-depth look into how I achieved this, that video will be up on my channel. I don't know if this is gonna go up first or if that's gonna go up first, but definitely do look out for it so that you can get like the full like 360, don't rush, slow touch. My hip just cracked. Okay, we're gonna stop. I hope that what I was saying in this video also possibly helped someone not feel like upset at themselves for being protective over your feelings and over your energy. Never apologize for that. And I hope that I explain myself well and that I don't sound like an a-hole throughout this video. So also, if you're still saying all lives matter after this full week, you sound the dumb, so stop it. Thank you. And with all that being said, remember to keep positivity in your life, because positivity breeds positivity, and we have absolutely no time for negativity in 2020. I will see you all in the next video. I was gonna say bye, but then those videos are up on either side of me, so how could I possibly click out? How could you possibly click out? I see you. You, I see. We see me. You, me, click, video, left, right, subscribe, down, up, side, cross, upside down, hang off the monkey bars. Thank you so much.